She thought of what an enormous distance 5 miles had suddenly become. That net of rails and lights hung on the snap of a wire, on a broken connection inside a rusty phone. No, she thought, on something much more powerful and much more delicate. It hung on the connections in the minds of the men who knew that the existence of a wire, of a train, of a job, of themselves and their actions was an absolute, not to be escaped. When such minds were gone, the 2,000-ton train was left at the mercy of the muscles of her legs. Those words describe a scene from Ayn Rand's epic Atlas Shrugged, a novel about the producers, the men of the mind, driven to go on strike, to quit a world of stifling political controls made possible by the moral demands of self-sacrifice. Ayn Rand's novel, first published in 1957, reads like prophecy in today's world. In Atlas Shrugged, political opportunists conspire to punish their competitors through political force. With ever wider controls on the economy, the nation stagnates, industry crumbles, shops close, and unemployed gangs rove the countryside. Top bureaucrat Wesley Mouch describes his plan. It will give more freedom to the individual and strengthen the bonds of collective obligations. It will combine the efficiency of free enterprise with the generosity of the planned economy. Compare Mouch's comments with those of George W. Bush, who touted compassionate conservatism, saying, "It is compassionate to actively help our citizens in need." Bush added, "I've abandoned free market principles to save the free market system." Bush proceeded to endorse a $700 billion bailout for politically connected corporations. Then President Obama saw Bush's bailout and raised with the $787 billion stimulus package. And who pays for all these forced wealth transfers? The American taxpayer, the producer, the responsible, the successful. In Atlas Shrugged, the villains relentlessly blame free market capitalism for the failures of political controls. This is what happened with the housing crash. Before the crash, Congressman Barney Frank championed government-promoted risky loans for low-income housing. After the crash, Frank blamed too little regulation, the private sector, and the philosophy that says the market knows best. A villain of Atlas Shrugged says, "It's time to forget your selfish greed and give some thought to your social responsibilities." President Obama said, "You know, I don't know when they decided they wanted to make a virtue out of selfishness." In the course of writing Atlas Shrugged, Ayn Rand articulated a revolutionary new moral philosophy of rational self-interest. "It is right to live for your own life and happiness," Rand said, "and to cooperate peacefully with others to mutual advantage." In politics, therefore, Rand advocated liberty, free markets, and the rights of each individual to peacefully pursue his own life. It is the moral philosophy to get our nation back on track.